I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel where each and every week I interview players one-on-one. And the cool thing about it is I always say I work for the fans. So I always take questions from you guys, ideas from you all, and I put that into my interviews with these players every week. And something very fun at the end of the interview is I do an activity like Office Olympics, just something really fun. And I don't always win, but that's not the point. Just so you guys can get the chance to see these players as people, not just as guys with helmets on running around on Sundays. It's really cool. So if I have your interest, please click subscribe to my YouTube channel and let me know what you think. Good evening, world. Chris Jenkins, credential member for the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe. And today, November the 11th, Wednesday, and got some good updates and good news for you guys. Let me adjust my camera a little bit there. Hopefully you don't get dizzy from me doing that. And then also let me apologize for being just a little bit late this evening. Had some things going on where, hey, here I am late. Just trying to make sure that this is up and broadcasting properly to everybody. And honestly, I can't tell if it is, so I don't want to get too far into this before I make sure that everything is right. And then we're going to talk about the latest with the Carolina Panthers. The biggest news being that of Carolina Panthers running back Christian McCaffrey, who was injured in this past weekend's game versus the Kansas City Chiefs. I think my computer just wants to go slow tonight. And I think I'm just going to have to trust that we're doing good. So, trusting that we're doing good, let's go ahead and get into it. Again, November the 11th, Wednesday, Carolina Panthers are back at it, preparing for a matchup against Tom Brady. This team got the best of the Panthers earlier this season in a game where actually it was one of those games where the Panthers came back. But still, New England Patriots, I'm thinking of Tom Brady. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were successful. Always a tough matchup anytime you're playing Tom Brady, and you have to think that this weekend, with Tom having just suffered one of the worst losses of his career, if not the worst, then we will absolutely get Tom Brady's best this weekend. So let me go ahead and get you up to date with transactions. It's always important to know what our current personnel is, who's injured, who's not. So let's go ahead and start with the injuries. Now let's go ahead and start with the transactions, all right? So here you go. Up on the screen now is the current transactions for your Carolina Panthers. Most of this is going to be practice squad players, but let's first start with the release, okay? So release players, you're going to get the kicker, Taylor, I can't say his name, Bertollet. And then you all have the defensive tackle, Mike and Panzionic. You know, this is why I had this stuff up on the screen, so you guys can know that I'm not saying it right. I know I'm not saying it right, but at least you can read on the screen and know exactly what I'm talking about. Had some other transactions taking place. This guy is back again. Signed defensive tackle Woodrow Hamilton to the practice squad, and then we activated Reggie Bonifant from the practice squad to the injured list, and then today we activated Reggie to the 53-man roster. And of course you can anticipate that move happening because Christian McCaffrey is very, very unlikely to play this Sunday. Hey, forgot to say at the top of the video, if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, I encourage you to jump on over to YouTube if you have questions or comments. I love working for everyone. So, meaning leave your comments. I will always go to the coaches or players and get those questions answered for you and report back a unique experience when you follow Charlotte Vibe and tune in with me. So hopefully you'll consider doing something like that. All right, let's go ahead and go to the injury report for today, November the 11th. So here you have the injury report for today. Christian McCaffrey, which we're going to go into some more detail about here in just a second. He was a did not practice person today. Russell Okung, our tackle, He was also a did not practice today. Christian McCaffrey with a shoulder. Russell Okung with a calf. Stephen Weatherly, sorry for the delay. Stephen Weatherly, defensive end, he did not practice with a finger injury. And then we have Reggie Bonifant, who, interestingly enough, this guy just gets activated from the injury list, just gets activated to the active roster, and then he's still not 100%. But nevertheless, Reggie Bonifant was limited in practice today. Jeremy Chin, safety, he was with his knee limited in practice. And then we also have Marquise Haynes. He was limited in practice today with his shoulder. All right, so each and every week, when we have a chance to talk with the coach, I'd like to give you guys some updates about our conversation with head coach Matt Rule today. So let's just go ahead and get to Christian McCaffrey, because that's by far the biggest thing that happened today. So earlier today, you start to see information say, hey, Christian McCaffrey probably won't practice today. Christian McCaffrey's getting a second opinion. You know, I like to report on things once they have materialized and are official. Christian McCaffrey is not 100% officially listed as out this weekend versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but head coach Matt Rule said he really considered this unlikely that Christian McCaffrey is playing this Sunday versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as well as how severe does he consider it? Is it season injury? Is it month to month? No, he says he feels like it's more day to day or week to week for Christian goes, and it's something like he described it as and I'm not a doctor, but I know a lot of people like to know some more details about these injuries. It's like his AC joint in his shoulder that has him out right now. And plan for Reggie Bonifant, they don't know yet. You just saw I had the screen up about his injury being limited in practice today. And I'm really going to take that day by day just to see how he's feeling later in the week. My anticipation is if Reggie, today is Wednesday, if he was limited in practice, if he's not full tomorrow, then just go ahead and keep him out, because we've been doing fine without him in the sense that we have Mike Davis, who's been running like a beast. We have Curtis Samuel, who's been like a heck of a Swiss Army knife for the Carolina Panthers right now. No need to force Reggie back into that lineup and take some snaps away from those guys, because those guys right now are doing extremely well. DJ Moore was talked about today as well, because DJ Moore, these last two games, I mean, that's my guy, go DJ, that's my DJ, but hadn't been getting the looks. And Matt Rule said it's definitely not been part of their plan. They're definitely not game planning in a way that would have DJ Moore out of the option as a receiver. And he said even last week they said, like, you know, he recalls having to play for DJ, and then as the ball was snapped, defense changed coverage, so Teddy could not go to DJ. This feels like things have just happened that have prevented DJ from getting all the passes that he would like to get. But he says for sure, DJ wants the ball. DJ's hungry. DJ is doing everything that he's supposed to do. So if that happens again for a third week in a row, that you're probably going to see some game planning and some really big concerted effort by the offensive coordinator and head coach to make sure that DJ Moore gets the ball, because he's a weapon. He's a weapon. You know, getting him some touches along with Robbie Anderson really continues to open things up for this offense, including Curtis Samuel, who's been just a third down beast. I know last week even, this guy was helping us get third down conversions, whether he was running the ball or whether he was catching the ball. And sorry, got distracted by the phone ringing. That's what happens when you're going live, right? You guys get to see those little things. Outside of Coach Matt Rule, we also had the chance to talk with Jeremy Chin, who is returning. Asked Jeremy Chin specifically about, you know, we're at the halfway point. He's a rookie, doing extremely well for a rookie. Can't tell he's a rookie too much out there right now. Hey, Jeremy, tell me one thing that you feel like you have improved on the most so far this season, and then tell me one thing that you're going to work on. And I kind of want to say he cheated on his answer, because he gave me the same thing. He said the biggest thing that he improved on was his first step in reading what's going on. He said, yeah, like a lot of rookies, things are slowing down for him. But he said at first, if you look at tape from the beginning of the season, you see his first step and he's just kind of going all over the place. And he said he still maintains that awareness of looking around, but he's more purposeful in his first step and what he's doing to read the offense and knowing what he has to do in order to make a play. And then my second question was, what are you looking to improve on the most for the second half? He said that he's just going to continue. He wants to continue to improve on that initial read, that quickness. That's really good. The quicker that you can analyze, the quicker that you can know what's going on, the faster that you can play. And in the NFL, playing fast, if you're able to do that without having to think about other things, just react because you know what's going on, he can only get better. He can only get a lot better from here. So that concludes today's report. I appreciate you guys watching. Again, sorry for the delay, but if you enjoyed it, hit the like button. It helps other Carolina Panther fans find out about me. I also encourage you to watch on YouTube if you like asking questions. I love working for you guys who are going to get questions answered from coaches or players, so please do that. And hit the bell notification so you can know when I go live so that you can join me right here, okay? Thanks again so much, Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe. Enjoy your evening.